Are you interested in a Detroit Steel Wings t-shirt, hoodie, tank top, or coffee mug? Grab yours up until September 20th. Link is on screen and in the description. What is going on, Crimson City? My name is Crimson CBAD, and I'm proud to be bringing you guys our Week 11 match. 11? It's 11. Week 11 match going against my good buddy John, aka Pokemon, and the New Orleans Pelippers. If you guys don't know John, make sure you guys go check out his content. I'll be sure to link his channel in the description. And of course, this is a hybrid Teambuilder battle video. I apologize. Just returning from Seattle this week. For those of you guys who don't know, I did also have surgery. I had an operation, so I am wearing a hat today because things like that. So haven't been in the best of moods to be able to record in a timely manner. And John, of course, also very busy with his YouTube channel and stuff. So we weren't actually able to battle until last night. So going into this, like I said, I'll break down the team, and then following that will be the battle. Looking at John's team, John does have the Manaphy. Very scary mon. Base 100 Pixie with the hydration. Can abuse the rain that we have. He has Florges, very bulky fairy. He's got Nidoqueen. When I heard Nidoqueen went in the draft, I was like, oh, John probably drafted that. Very interesting. He always uses the Nidoqueen. He loves that Nidoqueen. Mega Pidgeot, very fast, very hard hitting with no guard hurricanes. Zoroark, very interesting mon. Very fast, very offensive, both in special and physical. Does have that illusion ability. Mienshao is, of course, an incredible mon. Regenerator and reckless abilities. Both really good for abusing that speed stat that it does have. Ferrothorn, bulky Pokemon, has the weakness to fighting and has the 4 times weakness to fire. Tyrantrum, I don't know if he'll bring. He's yet to bring it. Komala, very bulky, rapid spinner, can do a lot of things. Electrode, very fast electric mon. Doesn't have too much in the. It's pretty one-directional as far as it goes. Magmortar could be an answer to more of our physical mons, such as Scissor, with things such as the Flame Body ability, has access to a variety of different moves and stuff like that. Looking at his team, I do want to talk about that he has Stealth Rockers in the form of Nidoqueen, Ferrothorn, and Tyrantrum. Spike Setter in the form of Ferrothorn, Toxic Spikes in the form of Nidoqueen. His Rapid Spinner is Komala. His Defogger is Pidgeot if he does choose to run a Defog Pidgeot. And he does have a Heal Beller Aromatherapy user in the form of Florges. So let's talk about the team really quickly. First up here, we have Stepfather the Zygarde rocking that Yachi Berry, sub DD, 1000 arrows and extreme speed. Max HP, 92 attack, 164 speed with a jolly nature. What does Zygarde do exactly? Zygarde outspeeds Magmortar right now as it is, and it outspeeds the entire team at +1. 1000 arrows is really good against his team. The only thing it really feels like taking that is Ferrothorn, but we can set up on the Ferrothorn. Unless he brings Power Whip or HP Ice. If he brings the Power Whip, oh well. Bullet Seed is more of a common bring, I feel like, just in case I am sub for things like... I just think it's a better bring overall. I think it's a better overall hit in case I'm like sub power up punch. What's the mon that I have? Mega Swampert. That's the one. That's the one. So I think Bullet Seed is definitely more in his interest to bring, but he could also bring the power up and the HP Ice. 1000 arrows hits the entire team. Extreme Speed is really good priority against his team. Put all of it in HP just so his subs did have a little bit more bulk behind it. 92 attack. Does do very good against his team after a few boosts. Next up here, Ray Romano, the Life Orb, Mamoswine, Earthquake, Superpower, Crash, and Ice Shard. Life Orb, thick, fat. Max attack, 228 speed Jolly with 28 in HP. What are we doing here? What are we doing with this thing? Well, with Jolly Memo, we are outspeeding Nidoqueen by 1 point. We are able to take it out with an Earthquake, provided he's not Shookberry. Icicle Crash is very nice against his team. Ice Shard is very good priority. Superpower also does hit the Ferrothorn. Nothing too crazy there. It also hits the Tyrantrum if need be. Next up here, we are bringing Marth. Let me change this really quickly so you guys can see the stats if it were a Mega. So we're bringing Spadef Mega Swampert because Fizdef Manaphy is definitely a thing going up against my rain team, so it can abuse that rain and set up Tail Glows. So special defensive Swampert, if he does bring the Fizdef Manaphy, kind of eats it. Rocks, Earthquake, Toxic, and Rest. We can rest off any sort of damage. We can switch around, do some fun stuff with that. We can Toxic things like Manaphy. We can Toxic things like Florges. We can Toxic things like the Mienshao. We can Toxic things like Magmortar, all that fun stuff. We can Earthquake. Earthquake hits his entire team aside from the Mega Pidgeot. Rocks are really nice. I didn't want to put rocks on Ray Romano. With this, we are outspeeding Uninvested Florges and Nidoqueen with this speed investment. Max Special Defense, we kind of handle a Manaphy. Toxic that thing, we can force it to go for a Rain Dance, give us that speed boost, and start tossing Earthquakes its way. Pretty straightforward. Next up here, what I do think does put in a lot of work against this team, we're bringing Choice Scarf Sock, hopefully going to be doing some stuff. Mold Breaker ability, Close Combat, Thunder Punch, Earthquake, and Poison Jab. For an HP defense and special defense, because level 50 IVs or EVs are weird. Max attack, 244 speed with a jolly nature. With this, we are outspeeding the entire team. We're outspeeding his entire team of this, except for like a Scarf Mienshao, but Sock kind of gives him the work. Sock gives him the work. Nothing really switched into a close combat other than like Nidoqueen and Florges. Ferrothorn doesn't want to take one. Yeah. Florges and Nidoqueen switch into this thing, but we have Poison Jab and Earthquake for both of those. Thunder Punch is really nice. It hits the Manaphy. It hits the Mega Pidgeot. Things like that. I'm really hoping Sock to be a late game cleaner against John. We'll see exactly how that works out. Next up here, we do have Yachi Berry, Roserade, Ivy, Technician Ability, Giga Drain, Synthesis, Hidden Power, Fire, and Sludge Bomb. Max HP, max defense, 4 special defense. This is kind of a mixed wall between handling the Mienshao and handling the Manaphy. We do eat an Ice Beam. From an offensive one, if it gets to +3, we eat an Ice Beam, and then we go for a Giga Drain. We can come in and scare it out with things like Sock as well, even Ray Romano, if he is not, properly speed invested. Also, if he's low enough, we can pick him off with an Ice Shard. Giga Drain is really nice. Hits the Manaphy, hits the Nidoqueen for neutral damage. Hits Tyrantrum for neutral damage. Sludge Bomb is a really nice stab to have. He has an immunity in the Ferrothorn. Hidden Power Fire is for that Ferrothorn Technician boost. It doesn't OHKO it, unfortunately. Even if we were like, we'd have to be like a max special attack Life Orb set in order to OHKO that. But Hidden Power Fire is nice damage because otherwise it walls it. Synthesis is nice. We're not bringing the rain. Good recovery. Last but not least, Tony Stark the Scissor, Rocky Helmet, Protect, Bullet Punch, Defog, and U-Turn, Max HP, 4 in attack, Max Defense, Impish Nature. So this is, again, our Mienshao check. High Jump Kick. So the way that we're going against is that this thing is going up against Mienshao. He goes for a High Jump Kick. I click Protect. He obviously loses his 50% of his HP. I go for a Bullet Punch and knock it out. Other than that, it does check a few of his physical threats that he could have. Things like Tyrantrum. The Bullet Punch is nice priority. U-Turn for getting out of there. Defog in case he decides to Hazard Tag with any of his various hazards. So, all that being said, that's the team. Let me know your guys' thoughts on it in the comment section down below. I'm going to cut to the battle, and we'll be right back. All right, here we are. Looking at his team, he brings the Manaphy, Ferrothorn, Mienshao, Mega Pidgeot, Magmortar, and Florges. So, I didn't really anticipate the Magmortar to come. I thought maybe the Electrode. I thought maybe even something like the Nidoqueen because he's so fond of that thing. I thought that could potentially come as well. But yeah, that is his team. I'm going to go ahead and play it right now. Like I said, the Magmortar bring definitely throws me for a loop. Definitely throws me for a loop right there. But obviously already out the gate, we know that his walls are going to be the Florges and the Ferrothorn. Perhaps even a mixed set with the Manaphy as well. So he actually leads off with that Manaphy. I'm going to lead off Ivy. Ivy led off really well against his team. Ivy did a lot of work against the Ferrothorn right out the gate. And I can 2-hit this thing with a uninvested Giga Drain. So he wants to get out of there. He doesn't want to stay in. With the Manaphy, he's going to go. Let me move this over just so you guys don't see me continuously looking at the screen. I just went for the Giga Drain. I have a nasty habit of attacking things that are right in front of me, but we see it does do a bit of damage. We do see that Leftovers recovery come off as well. I'm going to switch out. I don't want to take a Fire Blast from this thing. I'm going to go out into Marth right here. Marth kind of manhandles him outside of like a max modest, HP grass. So he's going to go for the Substitute here. And I was like, what are you doing? What is this? Are you like sub workup? I had no idea. So he goes to the sub. I'm going to Mega Evolve. I'm just going to Earthquake, honestly. From full, I can take a modest 252 special attack HP Grass. He does not have, we saw the Leftovers, so we're not going to see the power of Solar Beam. My battle animations are off, but we're going to keep rocking with it. I'm going to go for the EQ right here. It is going to break that. He goes for the Fire Blast. Does not do a lot to me. I can go for an EQ again and knock him out, but we do see he's faster than me, which is something to note. So from this range, HP Grass still will not knock me out, so I can just stay in and go for an Earthquake. He's going to get out of there. He's going to go into Arnold, and Arnold is the Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn does handle me, but I thought he was going to switch out, so I just go for the Rocks. Nice and Stealth Rocks. Very, very nice. He does not have the Kamala, and unless he has Defog and Pidgeot, those Rocks are here to stay. So I'm going to switch out. I'm going to go into Roserade right here. I can scare this thing out with an HP Fire. I can also Sludge Bomb things. He goes for his own Rocks. Fine by me. We exchange Rocks that turn. So be it. He's going to get Arnold out of there, though. He does not want to take that HP Fire, and he's going to go back out into the Magmortar. Now, I did want to go for a Sludge Bomb right there. Fortunately, I did not, because Sludge Bomb after Rocks would have killed this thing. I'm going to go for the Hidden Power Fire again. Hidden Power Fire is definitely putting him in range of Sludge Bomb, and I thought right here he was going to go for an HP Grass. I'm like, all right, you're not going to go for a Fire Blast on my Swampert again. So, but he does. He goes for the Fire Blast. Knocks out my Roserade. That is the first death of the match right there. Roserade now. We are without one of our Mienshao checks, which is very, very unfortunate. But the best way of going out into this is going out into Stepfather, our Zygarde. We can just 1,000 arrows this thing. We will take Rocks damage, unfortunately, and as long as his Ferrothorn does not have HP Ice or Power Whip, we can start setting up. After about +3 or +4, it is doing very, very sizable damage against this thing. So I'm just going to go for the 1,000 arrows. Good play. Knocking out the Magmortar. 5-5. Good matchup right now. Magmortar's not around anymore, so that is something to note. Goes out into Tulip. Now, I don't want to take a Moonblast from this thing. And our special wall is Swampert, and Swampert really doesn't want to take a Moonblast from a Florges, so I'm just going to switch out into Scissor right here. If he goes for the HP Fire Secret Tech, so be it. I also don't want to defog Rocks away on my side. Goes to the Moonblast. does pretty sizable damage, which makes me think he's more offensive than anything, but he is going to withdraw that. He does not want to take a bullet punch, especially if I'm like a banded set, because he did not see the leftovers recovery. He's going to go on to Arnold here. Arnold is going to take the rocks damage. I can just go for a U-turn, and at this point, like I said, unless he is the... unless he does have a special investment and goes for a hidden powered ice, unless he does have a power whip and connects it, Zygarde is going to be able to come in here and just start setting up. Bullet Seed does not do enough to kill me until it's like a +5 max roll. So I will be able to go into Zygarde here. I can just go behind a sub. I can start clicking Dragon Dance. I can start clicking 1,000 Arrows, and things are just going to start falling down. So I'll set up the sub. Turns out he has Power Whip. Turns out he also hits it. So instead of going behind a sub continuously, waiting for him to miss it so I can start setting up, I'm just going to start setting up Dragon Dances right in front of him, honestly. We're going to get that +1 boost. It's going to be really nice. He's going to go for the Power Up again. Does about 27%, so I know he has no attack investment. I'm just going to go for the +1,000 arrows. I can do more by getting 2 of those off than going for another Dragon Dance. He misses that next Power Whip. Very, very nice. I'm going to keep going for the 1,000 arrows. They're going to be doing a lot of damage. Power Whip, if he would have missed another one, I would have been in a very, very good position. But unfortunately, he connects 2 out of 3 Power Whips for me. I am able to get all the 1,000 arrows off. Ferrothorn is down. This is now a 5-4 matchup, I believe. Mienshao comes out. Now, if this thing has Fake Out, I'm very, very scared. But I also don't think he'd carry Fake Out. I think Scarf Mienshao is best against my team. +2 E-Speed would have killed. I did not get up to +2, unfortunately. So I am just going to go for the +1 E-Speed. He U-turns here. I'm assuming he goes for the U-turn because he knows it not only kills me, but it also does give him that regenerator boost. I don't think he'd run Reckless. He can very easily just run Drain Punch. He goes out into Tulip here. Okay, cool. Florges is taking more and more rocks damage, which is very, very nice. It's really going to be hard to whittle that thing down. I'll go out into Scissor right now just because it does keep scaring him out. He doesn't know what set I am. He hasn't seen the Rocky Helmet. He hasn't seen me switch up my moves just yet. He's going to withdraw right here, and I was like, Bullet Punch is nice damage in case he does set in. Do I want to go for a Bullet Punch? Do I want to U-turn? He goes out into Pokemanaphy, which is fine by me. Pokemanaphy taking that rocks damage. I just went for the Bullet Punch just in case. You know, I can't be too safe. Can't be too safe. So he gets the leftovers recovery, so we know he's not a Z Crystal user this week. Goes for the Scald. That's going to be fine. Tony Stark does go down, unfortunately. So now Mienshao, unfortunately, does just kind of run through our team at this point. But Manaphy's gone. Manaphy's here. Roserade's gone. Scissor's gone. So I'm like, great. Awesome. Mega Swampert's going to come out here. We can handle an Energy Ball from this thing. We can go for an Earthquake. We can go for a Toxic. We can chip this thing down. He goes for the Energy Ball. Does not kill me, thankfully. Does get the Speed F drop, but does not matter at that point. I'm going to go for an EQ. In case he wants to switch out, in case he wants to go into anything, saving this thing, I did want to go for a Toxic here just in case, but he does go for the other Energy Ball. Manaphy now 2 kills deep, knocking out my Mega Swampert as well. So I'm like, what's going to be good here? So I can go on to Mammal Spine right here. I can click Earthquake. I can get chip damage for the Sock coming in. I can Superpower. I can do a number of things. So we are going to take the rocks damage, which is really unfortunate. But he goes for the Scald right here. I live, and I get burned, which was really unfortunate because Earthquake right here would have knocked out the Manaphy from the range it was at, even with the defensive set. But because of that burn, it's super unfortunate. With the burn and the Life Orb, I am going to go down next turn, so I can just go for an Ice Shard for nice chip damage on this thing, so that way, you know, Sock can come in later and knock this thing out. So we see he's about like 35-40% of his health. Close combat to a defensive Manaphy does about 42 on a high roll, or 45 on a high roll, excuse me. Does get the leftovers recovery, putting him right at about that. I need that max roll on the close combat. We're going to go on to All Might. And I'm like, all right, unless we start nailing some crits, unless he's like Banded Mienshao and not Scarf Mienshao, I was like, we need to start putting in some work. So I'm going to go for the close combat right here. I do outspeed. I'm going to knock him down to 1 HP, and I get the Spadef drop, and I'm like, oh boy. He goes for the Scald from full. That is not knocking me out, even after the Spadef, and he does not get the burn, and I'm like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I can even up our differential just a little bit, go for another close combat up against the Manaphy. Manaphy goes down. So now it is a 3-1 lead, and as long as he is not, Florges is still there, unfortunately. But if he's not Bended Mienshao, I do outspeed this thing. He goes out into Florges, does take more rocks damage, and I'm like, oh boy, great, this is 3-0, this is nice. So I'm just going to go for another close combat right here, up against the Florges. I get the world's most monstrous crit and found out that he was not a max defense Florges, so I am able to knock this out. So at this point, I'm like, Birdman hands. I'm like, okay, as long as he's not Banded Mienshao, or as long as he's not Scarf Mienshao, we are good. Pidgeot dies after rocks to a close combat. We are solid. Unfortunately, though, Mian Xiao is Scarf, and he is going to be able to knock me off after the 2 defense drops, and that is going to be GG to my boy John, aka Pokemon, coach of the New Orleans Pelippers. He is going to be winning that match 2-0, very, very closer than I thought it was going to be, but hacks did come into it a little bit. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like on this video. Also, check out, there should be a link in the description. Detroit Steel Wing shirts are coming back for the World Battle Entertainment League. Pick one of those up if you are interested. All that being said, I want to remind you guys to be great and do great. I'm going to let this outro bang. I'm going to talk to you all soon. Later.